The UFO that left a white ring of bacteria on the ground. In 1971, a small town in Kansas in the USA was invaded by a mushroom-shaped UFO. When the object flew away, a white and seemingly burning circle was left on the ground. Researchers call this case very curious, as the circle was then carefully studied and photographed several times. On the afternoon of November 2nd, 1971, 16-year-old Ron Johnson was out in his family's field when he suddenly noticed a strange object in the sky. The object looked like a mushroom, emitting a very bright light, made a loud humming noise, and hovered low over the ground. The teenager ran home to call his parents, but when they all returned to the field together, there was no UFO in the sky. But at the edge of the field, among the trees, an apparently burnt ring 2.5 meters wide was clearly visible. Something like a white crust was visible on the edge of the ring, and when the family got closer, they noticed that the ring glowed faintly in the dusk. The Johnsons immediately contacted local Sheriff Harlan Enlow, who was the first official to see the strange ring on the ground. It was an amazing surprise to me that the white ring, like a big donut, was in the middle of the field of mud, he said. Arriving sheriff's officers took statements from the Johnsons, photographed the ring, and carefully collected soil samples. And then Irma Johnson, Ron's mother, told the sheriff that while they were waiting for him to arrive, she touched the white substance on the ring with her fingers, and her fingers went numb right after that. It later turned out that the Johnsons were not the only ones who saw a UFO that night. Among the residents of the area, there were 2 more eyewitnesses who saw an incomprehensible flying object. They also stated that they saw a UFO break a tree, hitting it, probably accidentally, during its flight. Quote, "I was 100% convinced that something strange had obviously happened here, and I took what the family told us to be credible," end quote, the sheriff says. Researchers studied the ring for a long time. It was noted that when snow fell, it melted quickly in and out of the ring, but not into the ring itself. When people watered the ring with water, the soil did not let the water through. The ring remained in place for at least several more years. Soil samples taken from the site were tested in the laboratory, and a 21-page report was then issued on what was found there. It was stated that the samples contained little ash, but there were actinomycetes, which are something between bacteria and fungi. This is very strange in light of the fact that the UFO itself looked like a huge mushroom. And this case was recently examined in the documentary series The Proof Is Out There, and to this end, several experts were invited who began to give their opinions on what this ring could be. We have physical proof that the soil samples we have the same glowed property today, which to me is absolutely amazing, says physicist Matthew Shidagis. Based on the results of the study of soil samples, Shidagis believes that the strange ring was probably a magic circle, quote unquote. He says they found hydrophobic substances in soil samples. Another resident NASA geologist, Bob Anderson, lies that it was, he says that it was some kind of a terrestrial phenomenon and not a UFO. That is, those who saw it are what he claims perhaps idiots. What can you say? All types of opinions here. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.